Hello, everyone. This is JPL, and today I am joined with
Christopher!
and we are podcast name in brackets. All right.
In
Hello,
brackets.
Christopher. How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty fine, honestly. So,
Mm-hmm.
been a week, but doing okay today.
Yeah.
And it's always nice talking to you again.
Of course.
Mhm.
I am a pleasure. Yes.
How are you?
I'm doing good.
Good.
Yeah. Anyway, it's been a couple weeks since we last talked. You've been super busy, it seems. Can you tell us more about that?
Oh, you want me to? Okay. Again, I work at Sight and Sound Theaters in Branson, Missouri. If no one knows, I'm on the deck crew. I essentially push the props around.
Mm-hmm.
That's my job. Do the same. We're back to 11 shows a week now. So doing the same thing 11 times a week. That's my life now.
Yeah, it's at least it's a routine.
But it's monotony, and I don't like that.
Well, man, like imagine the sound booth. You have to mix the show the same way every time.
Yeah. No, I was kind of thinking like the same thing. Like, even if I did go to film, it's going to be the same thing each time.
Yeah. Anyway, we just finished here at Liberty a show, Fiddler on the Roof.
I heard that Chris Nelson played lead.
He was the lead. Yes, he was, and it was fun to watch.
I bet it was.
Yes. Oh, I have been so wanting to see him do that role because I heard stories when he did that 10 years ago. But yeah, they did it. He did it again. It was fun. Greg hated it.
What?
Well, because the day before opening, they decided that everyone should wear masks. And masks with your microphone just sounds beautiful.
Yeah.
And so
Why? I thought this is Liberty.
I mean they had run into like a problem where a couple members had to quarantine, and so they had to push back the release date, and then they just
really
gave everyone the clear face mask. And Greg throughout the entire show is just mouthing off. It's like, oh, this is so trash. While he's mixing, he's just nodding his head when you can hear the people's breathing, and it sounds so echoey. Yeah.
I bet that was entertaining watching him.
Yes, I had a job too, but yes.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, we obviously have to wear headsets too. I can't imagine what it'd be like with masks. And I bet I didn't sound had to at one point. I can't imagine how muffled things would sound. That does not sound fun at all.
Yeah, well, we did our best. We worked it out, and we finished the show. Now we're getting ready for SonicCon, which is like in 2 weeks.
Excited about that?
I am. I'm also a little bit worried about it.
Why?
So from what I hear from like Greg and Nelson, like they're not doing too well. In that we really right now only have 100 attendees.
And so that's worse than last year.
That's worse than last year, yes. And it's like they don't know they'll even have one next year.
Do you think they went too all out with this one? Not that scared away people, but financially it wasn't a good idea.
I mean, there are many factors going into all this. Like, it's one of them is the time of year.
Mm-hmm.
It's fall. People have work. Some people have school. Two would be the current state of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
It's rising. People are getting sick again. Then of course the price,
Mm-hmm.
which is doubled. In my case, tripled the price. Even though like they've been having a 50% off promo code that you can get because they really want people to come. But
Right.
yeah, there's a lot of things going into it, and we'll see if we survive to get a third year.
Mm-hmm. That's rough, honestly.
Yeah, it's been a mess. Like the band that they normally play, they had to replace several members, like last minute. So it's been a thing, but hopefully it will all work out in the end. We'll have a good convention, and we'll have one next year. And James Arnold Taylor will come, and yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I definitely hope.
With that said, y'all come to SonicCon. It's this audio theater convention at Liberty University. Come meet people like Kate Leaf, Phil Lawler, the great.
Phil Lawler coming up?
Yeah, he's coming. Rob Paulson and Maurice LaMarche, Pinky and the Brain. Also having a concert, Animaniacs Live. Don't miss it next week.
I will say, at the very least, I hope they can do it. If they can't do it every year.
Like, oh, every other year?
If they can't do it every year.
Like the Star Wars convention?
It's something that should be kept alive. And to have it every other year would create the demand, like, oh, we didn't have it last year, let's do it again this year.
It's also just, right now, it's just not a great time for conventions.
Oh, yeah, that's fair, that's fair.
Like, hey, we did all right last year, but we could have done better.
That's rough.
Rough. Rough. Yes, so anyways, last week we were talking some stuff. And I was mentioning that I was working on projects. And I finished those projects.
Mm-hmm. Yes, you did.
And I sent them to you. Mm-hmm. And the big project was the introduction into the DC universe, which was a lot more work than it really needed to be. This document ended up being 31 pages. 31, Christopher. That's
dedication right there.
That's more work than I put into my own papers for school.
You should just turn that in instead and be like, hey, I did work. Yes. Should count.
Paper on biology. Here's how you get into the DC universe.
Yes. I mean, you could argue that it works from a scientific perspective somehow.
Sure. Yes. Biology. Oh, there's lots of blood there. You know, there you go. And the second document project was an introduction to Star Wars, which I wasn't going to do, but then you said it, and I'm like, yeah, I can do that as well. And so I did it. It's much smaller, much simpler. It didn't go into like a long explanation for each project, like this is why this is important. It's like, nah, just watch this then do this.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to do this other thing, yeah, you can do it. Just do this. I don't care.
Mm-hmm. So what's next?
I don't have anything next for that.
Yeah, I wouldn't either, honestly.
Like, I'm not gonna touch Marvel.
Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's worth it. There's enough stuff with the MCU that you can look up online. It's simpler with as regards to the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
I feel. I don't know. It's either chronological or release. That's you just
Yeah, like
do
even
it.
though Marvel has less stuff than DC does, I still don't want to go through that process because I've seen less stuff with Marvel
Yeah.
versus
Yeah. No, that's fine.
my grand experience with DC, as you can
Mm-hmm.
tell, with 31 pages of a document.
Mm-hmm.
Did you get a chance to look through it?
I'll be honest, no.
Mm.
And I think we talked about this. It's not that your work is in vain. It's that I'm not planning to get into it
Of
yet.
course.
But like to have on hand for sure, yes. Because and also like I said, if I'm checking out something next, it honestly be Star Wars, compared to Star Wars and DC.
Which is why I made that document.
Right. And again, I have no idea when I will, but when I do, I have it on hand, and yay.
Let's see. How long is the Star Wars page?
Yeah, I was curious about that, which shows that I didn't look at it. But yeah, I'm curious.
It's 4 pages.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 4 pages. I've excluded all of the comic books and books.
So this is on Disney Plus, essentially, right?
This, yeah, pretty much. This is everything you can find on Disney Plus. Minus no, it's pretty much everything on Disney
Except for the
Plus.
anime thing.
I don't even include the anime thing in this. See, this list is just everything in the chronological order
Mm-hmm.
in this canon. I did
Yes.
explain that because there's also the non-Disney canon,
Mm-hmm.
and I said if you want to look into that, just go to this website. Otherwise, we're just sticking to the Disney one right now.
You know what they should add to Disney Plus
What?
if it's not already on there? The Star Wars Holiday Special.
They have the animated section of that special on Disney Plus.
No, we need the original.
I know, but
Disney is gonna have all the original and nostalgic stuff. We need
they're not going to do that because part of their deal with George Lucas is that thing is never going to see the light of day again.
That's amazing. Oh
he hates that project with a passion. Like he said in interviews, like if I had all the time in the world and a hammer, I would go and find every single copy of that thing and smash it.
That's amazing.
So, yes.
So, how does George Lucas feel about the Disney sequel series?
There's not much been said from him about it. Other than that, he's enjoyed watching other people's perspective.
Okay, at least he doesn't have that same fury with his, like the Christmas special, you know?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because he didn't make the Christmas special.
Oh, he didn't.
He did not.
Okay, I was
Like-
almost wondering if he did. It'd been hilarious if he did.
No, like someone else did it. The studio wanted a Christmas special. He was not mainly involved with that project, which is why he really hates it.
Fair.
Yes, I've seen the special multiple times. It's an experience.
Did you put it on the thing?
No.
Is there a place for it or not?
Well, again, like this document isn't about everything. It's more so here's an introduction to the main set of films and storyline with the shows.
Mm-hmm.
There could be something else, but I don't really care.
Are you excited about the Boba Fett thing?
Yes, I'm excited. I've included some coming soon shows in this document.
Okay. I'm assuming it includes Boba Fett.
Yes, Boba Fett's here as well. I did not include the sequels.
Oh, you didn't?
I did not. And I did not do that because I dislike him. No, I didn't do that because they are very incomplete and feel very separate from the main original run of the series.
So the Mandalorian Boba Fett thing happened within the first 6 movies, essentially?
Yes, it happens about 5 years after the sixth movie. Whereas the sequels take place 30 years later, and there's still, like, nothing on what happened in those 30 years. Which is why I don't include those films, because we have nothing to fill the gap.
Where is Rogue One?
Rogue One? Yeah, Rogue One's here.
Is there?
Yeah, Rogue One's here. Yes?
I find it just interesting thinking about the fact that my brain. Like Marvel, they're releasing like 8 to 10 things a year now. And Star Wars not as much. You know what I mean? I find that really interesting.
It's because they had to put much more time into Star Wars.
I guess that makes sense.
Because unlike Marvel, special effects is very important to Star Wars. Specifically, practical effects.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I believe it. So, just one quick rabbit trail. I got a new phone. Yay, I got a refurbished S10. It's been working very nicely. My old phone is ridiculously slow compared to this, so I'm happy. Nice. With back on semi-track, do you want to talk about What If or not?
We can, yes. We left off with Party Thor, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the next episode we go straight into the Ultron storyline, which I'm glad they did, and that the Ultron thing was actually a thing, and not just a like, oh, here's a fun thing to end your episode on.
Mm-hmm. Overall, I feel like because at the end of the day, it's almost like a part 1, part 2 finale to a degree. While they're very distinct episodes, like they just go kind of they at the end they flow and brings it all together, which I'm glad there was that sense of bringing it all together.
Mm-hmm.
With that said about bringing it all together, What If was originally supposed to be 10 episodes, and they said, oh, due to COVID, we're pushing 1 episode to next season.
I don't know how that works, though.
Well, what makes it worse is in the finale, we just randomly have Mad Titan Gamora. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who is essentially the subject of that one episode. Like I was kind of saying, like, oh, we're going to have that episode of essentially Tony Stark gets stuck on Sakaar instead of Hulk or something, and somehow Gamora is involved. And as we saw in like the finale episode, Tony was in his Hulkbuster suit. I mean, again, that just would have been a really interesting episode. I'm really excited to see it next season. Regardless, like I'm sitting here just dumbfounded. Like, why? Number one, why did you delay? Why did you push that episode? What was it about that episode that made it so unimportant? Second off, why didn't you delay the series as a whole just to finish with one episode? I would have much preferred that.
I think a theory that's been going around is that something happens in that episode that's like major and is important to the future of the MCU.
Okay.
Which I don't know how.
Mm-hmm.
Because essentially the theory is, oh, they have characters from other projects that haven't been released yet in this episode.
Really? Huh.
I don't think that's true.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's just wishful thinking.
I do know in season 2 they will be, including Phase 4 elements. But I would be surprised. I personally be surprised if it was that specific episode.
Yeah, I mean the stuff that they're saying is like, oh, they were gonna introduce like the X-Men or the Fantastic Four.
And even if they did, I wouldn't have cared, honestly. Enough for it to be delayed. And again, season 2 is supposed to be next year. If anything, I'm hearing thoughts that have some Fox, Marvel, and new Doctor Strange, or that's the door for that to happen. But like, even if the Fantastic Four was in that episode, or even in season 2, because Fantastic Four isn't going to be released next year, or probably maybe not even the year after. Who knows? I don't know. Disney Plus Day is next month. We'll find out. Maybe not.
Yes.
But it's like they're essentially already established enough characters that including them in a what if episode obviously would create buzz, but that while what if is technically MCU canon, it's not directly MCU canon at the same time.
Not yet, anyway.
Because, yeah, I think I mentioned this from what I'm hearing. The Guardians of the Multiverse would be in the upcoming Doctor Strange movie. That's what I'm hearing. There was a rumor before What If even premiered that Captain Carter would be in it. Benedict Cumberbatch earlier this year did an interview where he had the phone facing the ceiling saying, "I have some special makeup on that's going to ruin the movie." My guess is the Sorcerer Supreme look. And obviously, like, those are not confirmed, but like, if looking at what's upcoming, I think the pieces fall in place for that. Because from what I'm hearing, like, the Doctor Strange movie is essentially like another Spider-Man No Way Home, where it's a lot of multiverse and a lot of characters thrown into a big movie. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't really believe in the explanation that COVID is the reason why the episode is delayed, because It really shouldn't be the reason it's delayed. Because like animation studios have been working during COVID at home,
Yeah.
and they've been doing great. Most voice actors work at home now, so I don't know what it is they're doing. They're probably doing rewrites, but we'll see when it comes out. But yeah, really what it was is the finale came, Gamora showed up, I was confused. I was like, oh, okay, so he's just gonna pick this random character. Okay, just to show off that the world is not just the episodes we saw. But then I thought, why is she the only character that's didn't have an episode? That made me think, wait a minute, there's only 9 episodes. Normally there's 10, which means, oh, okay, the episode got canceled.
Delay.
Yes. That too. So yeah, Gamora, she's
why
a
is
thing.
it that episode? I almost think. Well, I mean, it's not. I mean, like I looked through it. Like I said, the only one that I can really think was the Nick Fury's big week, if all the Avengers were killed episode, because it was the last scene essentially when Black Widow is transported to a different universe. Nick Fury's like, "You're not my Natasha, but you have the spirit Natasha," and they're fighting Loki. That probably is the episode 3 universe, but it's like I still like that scene. Like that, like I didn't need episode 3 to appreciate that scene. You know what I mean?
Right. Like even then, like I didn't even think that was the same universe when I watched it. Until
well,
like
it didn't hit me till after I texted you that one time.
Yeah. And it wasn't really until like I watched the clips again where it's like, wait a minute. Oh, that's that universe, isn't it? Yeah, that would make sense. Continuity. Okay. Because everyone
But still,
else
like,
got part in this somehow.
uh-huh.
Even the zombies. And there wasn't even a Thanos.
Which I was a little disappointed about.
Yeah. They really changed the rules for the Infinity Stones here.
The writers have been giving their explanations to make it work, and I didn't really read into it a lot because I'm not that into the lore to memorize everything. So I could send you links later of their explanation.
But like it's different from the comics in that the comics, the stones can only work in their own universe and not anywhere else.
Well, the funny thing is with that though, remember Gamora's Infinity Crusher, and then she could only crush the stones on that universe.
Yeah.
So, like, they had some explanation for why Ultron was able to use the stones across universes, but I didn't memorize whatever that thing was.
How about that Ultron versus Thanos?
Yo, that would be sick.
Sick, huh?
Like, that one. That's what you meant. Like, I thought if we actually had like an Ultron and Thanos,
that would be sick.
That one. My jaw dropped essentially. That was hilarious.
Yeah.
Like that was easy. And then there were memes online of like, oh yeah, Vision should have done that in Infinity War.
You know, that made me so mad.
What?
Like it wasn't like so mad, but more so disappointed in that the more they do something like that, the more Doctor Strange's one universe after 14 billion I saw us defeating Thanos. It's like, oh, okay. Well, if it was that easy, then why not 2 or 3? Why just one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I will say, at the end of the day, What If had a better ending than Loki. The Loki ending is boring. What If?
Well, it had
Again.
an ending. It had an ending.
It had an appropriate ending. Yeah, that was also nice. Like, obviously, they teased for a future episode, and obviously, we're getting a second season, and we're potentially getting them in Doctor Strange too. But regardless, it did have an ending. I will say, I was almost hoping there wouldn't be an ending originally, because I was really hoping that there would be a bigger cliffhanger, because the amount of people who've been like, I'm not going to watch it because it's not MCU canon, because it's animation or whatever. And I feel like if it ended on something that would have potentially teased Doctor Strange 2 or something like that,
Zombie Thanos.
that would have.
I feel like at the end of the episode, they gave us a zombie Thanos inside the armor.
Yes.
That's who Peggy's seeing.
Bro, that'd be so funny.
Yeah.
Who do you think is in the armor? Do you think it's Steve? Or because I saw someone online, it's like it might be Bucky. I'm like, why? I don't think that makes sense.
I don't know. They'd have to explain Steve. Like, what's he doing on the ship? In the armor, there.
Right.
Like, why isn't he in like Soviet Russia in the secret lab? I don't know.
Yeah. I remember my original complaint, namely after the Captain Carter episode, was, I was hoping more character development, and from what I'm hearing, season 2 will bring more of that. But at the end,
They always promise that.
Yeah. At the end of the day, because I really wonder, like, I don't know, whatever, but well, essentially, like, is the first season the only important season, and then is the rest of What If's run actually pure What If? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because season 1 had to culminate into such an ending to potentially cross over in Doctor Strange 2, and then now they're just like, okay, now we can actually just focus on What If episodes.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, after the Captain Carter episode, like, I enjoyed most of the episodes as they were. I still the Captain Carter episode is still my least favorite, and that was the one I was most excited for. Yeah, I don't, whatever. I'm just consuming what they feed me right now.
But yes, I'm glad that we had Ultron come back, and he was cool and boss. Even though I felt like Zola taking over was unrealistic, given how Ultron was a much more advanced AI that killed Jarvis. So that's a bit of a nitpick, but it's important to note.
Yeah, I could have cared less about it. I feel like there still could have been a way to have Killmonger and Ultron fight.
Also, like Killmonger. Oh yeah, Killmonger. He gets the stones. He should be dead.
I know. I was thinking that too.
It's like he reacted to nothing. There was no shock of energy. He's like, "Oh, I'm fine, bro," and like Hulk is like, "Grah!"
Yeah. Oh well.
Oh well, it's just a cartoon.
Nothing to see here.
Don't waste your life.
That was another thing. My brother messaged this to me. He's like, "Why didn't the Watcher suffer any consequences?"
He will probably next season.
He better.
Yeah, the big theory is that the next season he's gonna have to face off against these other Watchers.
I hope so.
We better, yeah, because
I mean, he broke his freaking oath. It's not like he had an oath for no reason.
also Star-Lord,
Yeah.
Peter Star-Lord. So I guess that universe didn't die.
Probably not.
I was
That
also
was so brief, I don't remember it.
I was a bit confused about that moment as well. Because his dad was taking his battery stuff. I thought he couldn't do that unless he was on his own planet.
There's logic behind that because I don't know if that's for sure, but all his dead children were on the planet.
Yeah, because like he had to get Yondu had to take the kid, bring him to the planet, and like the planet is where the source is. That's where you're taking the battery. So why are you on Earth doing that there, away from your source?
Because callbacks not fully developed.
It's
Yay!
because they did not want to create another rendering of the room for just one more. They had the assets for the Dairy Queen, and they're like, Dairy Queen, we're just gonna reuse this. We don't care. No one's gonna notice.
Apparently, some people do.
Like me.
Like you.
Because I watch shows and stuff. Whatever. Speaking of shows, Smallville.
Yes, I saw you posted a video. I didn't watch it, but
Of course, that's fine.
well, I did watch one video, so hey.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I'm halfway through the 7th season, and it's alright. It's nice.
Is it plateau or is it sinking?
I mean, it's like slightly better, slightly. Really, it all comes to that character.
Yeah, I figured.
That character who overstayed their welcome.
Wait. You're saying season 7?
Yes.
She's still there.
You know what's funny? At the end of season 6, she blew up in a car.
And then now she's fine.
But when that happened, I didn't believe it because it just felt strange. And again, viewing it through the perspective of like, oh, how would I do this as a TV network? Well, I assumed that the actress' contract expired at that time again, and so they renewed it for this next season. They did the exact same thing with another character at the end of the 3rd season, where they blew up in a house, and of course their explanation was, "Oh, she got away in a basement." Where here, their explanation was so out there, out of the blue, came out of nowhere, like nothing could have. You couldn't have guessed it. So, this girl seemed that she had a clone body that they had in the car, and they blew that up. And so
Who has a clone body?
I know, right? But apparently they just had one. Oh, hey, lucky for us. Now, at the end of the episode of the premiere, like we go to China, and I'm thinking, oh no, why are we in China? Unless they're gonna tell us something. And here we go. Here's this girl who's disguising herself in China, acting in a way that she really shouldn't be acting. And she's still the worst part of the show. because she's a character that she's not supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And she's still in the show because they have to create drama.
So if it wasn't for her, the show would be better.
Absolutely, yes. Like almost everyone who's watched that show has the exact same opinion. So, yeah. uh, that show.
I'm glad you're enjoying yourself.
I'm trying. Like, I'm watching an episode a day, but like, the joy is sinking. Like, she sucks the joy out of me. Like, I don't care to watch her. Like, she's not great. Anyway, on to that thing you were saying. Yes, the new My Little Pony movie came out. I did a first thoughts review of it. And
Did you watch it again?
I'm going to.
Oh, you're going to?
Yes.
Have your thoughts evolved since the video or not?
No, it's exactly the same.
And I don't think it's going to get any better.
I mean, a couple things will be different. Like I mentioned in the video, I'd probably enjoy the music more the second time around. And yeah. But yeah, there will be a podcast coming soon on that movie.
Seriously, though, that just should be a new universe. Why is it the same universe? That makes no sense to me.
I know, like it's like I explained. I think I said this in the video, but I feel like they were wanting to do a different universe, and they started it as a different universe. Then Hasbro said, "Oh, hey, by the way, just make it the same one." And they were like, "Oh, okay. Well, all right. Yeah, we'll see. We'll find out how everything works and doesn't work when the show comes out." And nothing is explained for like 5 seasons.
Not cool.
We'll see. That shows.
I mean, I hope it gets better, but honestly, already from what I heard from that review, I don't have hope.
It's like it's not a bad movie. Like, it's nice, it's cute, but it's like it's so generic an introduction versus you have another introduction of the original show that like change standards of those character types. Whatever. Who cares? It's just a movie for little girls.
You care.
Watch that podcast whenever it comes out. In 5 months, who knows?
So now that you go.
Speaking of podcasts, I've been editing some stuff I've had in my logs to upload. One of those being is our 5-year anniversary. That's going to be used for episode 100 coming up.
Yay! So what episode is this?
This is 96.
Wow.
We're really close.
So by the end of this year, it'll be released essentially.
Or sooner. Like with the other ones I have to edit, I haven't released yet.
Okay, gotcha. Sweet.
It's sweet. It's all coming together. And
it really is.
What are you gonna say?
So now that What If is done, Now, again, it's not that like I'm dying to watch something, because in reality I'm not. Like honestly, like I get home from work, I'm exhausted as it is, like,
Yeah.
and it's been fun being sheltered because I don't have to catch up with everything like everyone else has to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like right now, Marvel's like the only thing I do, and it's fun to be like, oh, that's the only thing I have. And I feel not to say obligated, but I want to keep up with. But there's also part of me is like, oh, it'd be fun to watch something, I guess. The worst part about watching something though is, especially if it's all available, then you just want to binge it, right?
Of course.
So like that was great and terrible, but great about like the Marvel shows is that it's one episode a week. There's nothing I can do about it. At the end of episode 7, when it's like, gosh, I want an episode 8, but I had to wait a week. And at the end of episode week, I'm like, gosh, I want an episode 9, but I had to wait a week. There's nothing I could do about it.
Yeah.
But there's so many shows where everything's available, so it's either I binge it or I don't. So like that's the biggest battle for me personally. Regardless, I started a TV show, Cloak and Dagger. It's
Okay.
on Hulu. It's Marvel based because I guess it's technically not MCU. But it was something I've been kind of interested in for a bit. So and I have Hulu right now, so I'm like, I want to watch it. So I watched the first 2 episodes, and they were good enough for me to want to keep watching. And obviously, episode 2 ended on a cliffhanger enough where I'm excited to watch episode 3, but I have priorities right now that I have to do,
Yeah.
so I haven't gotten to it yet. But also the idea of, at the end of episode 3, it's going to have another cliffhanger, which makes me want to watch episode 4, so I just literally I'm like, I'm not ready to continue watching yet.
Mm-hmm.
I will at some point, but not right now. My one, I kind of wanted your thoughts on this one thing though. The first episode, the second episode, there was a heavy use of songs, not character singing, some already song that, like, because at the end of the day, it's a TV show, not a streaming TV show. It's a TV show. I think it was at first. So, or is. So you had a set amount of time. So it can't be shorter. It can't be longer. And so I really felt like, we've outlined these episodes. We can't have this episode shorter. What should we do? Oh, we'll have a song play for a minute and a half as we edit random shots of character developments of this one thing. And there were like 4, if not maybe even 5 songs in the first episode. And I was sitting there by the time the 3rd or 4th song came on, like, not that these songs are bad, but I'm like, come on, TV show.
That's every show.
Ah!
Yeah, that's every show does that at some point.
I get it at some point, and I figure by the end of the season, there's going to be enough that they're trying to jam pack where the episodes aren't even going to feel complete.
Yeah, typically they do 1 at the end of an episode, but you're saying there was 5.
I'll say 4. 4
Okay.
for the first episode, maybe 3 second episode.
That just means that they like music too much.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Again, at the end of the day, like, I don't mind. Like, I get it if there's 1, say maybe even 2. And again, I will give a little bit of grace for the opener, I guess. But if I'm getting 5 songs in the season finale, that's not okay.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It. I don't know. Because it's especially harder because you're focusing on one character. So it's honestly more awkward to have that one character just inner dialoguing for 3 minutes. So having such a montage type scene, can help carry it along, can show character development. I get it. And at the end of the day, I'm not against it. It was just the heavy use of it that got me.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I get you. That's always been a problem in shows. Normally, it's one song at the end of an episode as a closer. Maybe one in the middle if you have a special occasion or the band is actually there to lip sync to the song. Other than that, you normally stick to one unless there's a specific reason why you have more than one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like Legion. You don't know when they're going to do a song, but when they do, there's a reason for it.
Yeah. So, you probably haven't seen it, but you might have heard about it.
Yes, I think I've been hearing all about this everywhere
Squid
and everyone.
Game.
Yes.
And I'm assuming you haven't watched it?
I have no interest whatsoever. Especially after everyone's reactions, I'm like, why would I watch this?
Because initially I heard, oh my gosh, it's a Korean show that's super popular. So that was my initial interest, like, oh, Korean show, cool, yay. And then when I found out how essentially visual it is, I'm like, no, thank you.
Okay. Oh, you mean like graphic?
Yes.
Okay.
Visual
means something else to me.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, graphic is the word that you want to use.
Graphic.
It's hardcore.
Hardcore.
Yes. I've heard similar things. I don't know why everyone's so invested in that thing, but
so it was funny. Neither do I. I had a friend. I mentioned it to him. He's like, "What is this? I've never heard of it." Like, it's like the most popular show right now. I know you're going to hear it. And I'm like, isn't it funny sometimes, like when a friend mentions something you've never heard of it, and after that you can't stop hearing about it.
Yeah,
like, that just sometimes happens. And that was exactly what happened to him. The next day, he's like, "What's that? What the heck?" I opened Instagram, and all I see are Squid Game memes. So. And he's not the type of person to do it, but he's like, fine, I'll watch the first episode and see what's up. And he's like, wow, that was very disturbing. Cannot believe someone conceived of this. However, it's so addictive, I have to keep watching. It's I think one of the best things from what I'm hearing that it does is the character development. So it makes you emotionally invested with the characters, or whatever. And I guess the premise is intriguing enough, but yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, it was really funny just like watching him like unwillingly get sucked into it, and him like not enjoying it but addicted to it at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't get. It's also really just interesting, like how it just blew up out of nowhere. Which, I'll be very honest. I think this is my guess of how it happened. A member of Blackpink, a K-pop group, did visit the set. Did take a picture of one of the actors who posted it on her Instagram, and also that member was credited in at least one of the episodes of Squid Game as like a thank you thing. And obviously the Blackpink fans saw that and shared, "Oh, yay!" the show mentioned Blackpink or something. And then those people probably watched it. Who probably told their friends, probably aren't K-pop fans, and those people probably liked it, and it spread like wildfire. That's my guess of how it blew up outside of Korea. That's my guess. I could be wrong, but I think that's a very likely way of. If there were multiple ways, that was probably one of the ways. It's really interesting to me.
Mm-hmm. Sure, I have no input. I have no input on that one.
Yeah, man, it's really there. I had a few friends though who are like, this probably just shows how desensitized their culture is right now, and it's really interesting.
My guess is it's probably a similar situation similar, probably not to like Stranger Things, and how that got popular. And like it wasn't so much because of the content. It was like, oh, everyone's talking about this. Oh, it must be good. I don't know. I don't know. Except Stranger Things was more nostalgia in 80s than actual.
Right. Which was very smart on their end because nostalgia, like, that's why we're seeing so many remakes because they're capitalizing on nostalgia. It sells.
Yeah, and I think what Squid Game is like similar to Hunger Games.
Kind of.
In that it's like a battle royale survival.
Yeah.
And of course those are popular in gaming, so them gamers do those things. Another thing that came out was the trailer for the Game of Thrones prequel series.
Oh, really? I didn't hear about that.
I know. Which really tells you no one cares anymore. It's such a shame, really. Like, just how one bad season can just turn off nearly 10 years of excitement. And it's like, again, I don't really care about the prequel series. There's only one thing that intrigued me, and it's like an actor that I actually really like is in the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, the trailer came out because the trailer was featured on HBO Max. That's how I saw it.
Yeah.
No one else.
That's the only way they can promote it.
Yeah, no one else covered it. Like no one really cared or tweeted about it. It happened.
If anything, I would have seen it on Twitter, but obviously I didn't.
Only the hardcore fans did a thing on it, but even then they were like, "Yeah, like we'll see." The final season wasn't that great, and this is all right, I guess. But yeah, it's really interesting how that happens.
Wow. I'm just like shocked because I legitimately would have thought there would have been something, but no.
Yeah.
Like I didn't see anything trending, period.
Which is shocking.
It is.
Like 5 years ago, this would be number one on the charts, talked about for days. Like, oh, this actor, oh, he's so, like, oh, it's great to have him in a project.
So, with the prequel series, how much of a prequel is it?
It's 200 years before the events of this series. And it's based off of a side book thing that George R.R. Martin did. And George R.R. Martin is actually back to help with this series in a way.
So he didn't help with the last season, I'm guessing.
He didn't help with the last few seasons where his book wasn't finished.
Yeah. Huh. Interesting.
So yeah, that's that.
Mm-hmm.
I sent you an album. Did you get a chance to hear it?
No,
Okay.
honestly, I've had it kind of open, like a tab open, and it's crossed my mind a few times. I haven't made the time yet.
Oh, that's
But
fine.
I'm also wondering, should I listen to that one or a different one? Like, do they have a more quintessential album?
This is
Or-
the album specifically that I say you should listen to.
Okay.
It's the one that won them a bunch of awards.
Okay.
And it's the last album.
Gotcha. Oh wow, they didn't even close. They didn't even stop the album.
They what?
Like when they said goodbye, they didn't no final release project. That's crazy to think about.
Nope. So yeah, this was their final album, and they haven't really done much since then. So
Wow.
yeah, for listeners wondering, it's the Daft Punk album Random Access Memory. In case you were wondering, I really enjoyed it. I've been listening to it over and over. I really like the overall sound. It makes me feel nostalgic, even though I haven't really ever listened to the songs before. So it's neat.
You know, that would be really interesting if you got me into Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
If
Don't
we incorporate, why not?
I? I mean, what do you mean I got you into Marvel? You got yourself
Well,
into Marvel.
now all we talk about here is Marvel, kind of. Now I'm not saying that let's make this music. I'm not. And I think we talked about this enough where I don't think even if it got to such a point, I don't think that either of us want this podcast to be such.
Yeah.
But where at the end of the day, music is my love.
Yeah, I know.
And for us, like you to connect on my level a little bit.
I know.
Which
I try.
honestly, even to that degree, listen to the album you sent me. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like now I'm thinking about like that would actually be kind of fun to do. Like maybe next episode, if not soon, like we just talk. Like I give my thoughts on the album you sent me, and then maybe I send you an album. Like it doesn't have to be like we do it every episode. It doesn't have to be like one album a month. It's just when we're able to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get you. And that does
Like,
sound like an interesting idea. I'm just
Yeah.
worried about my perspective on it because I'm more of a visual guy than hearing.
Okay, so curious about this. Do you like music videos or not?
No.
Same. I honestly I don't watch music videos unless it's K-pop.
Yeah, it's no music videos, no.
Yeah, they ruin a song.
Yeah, listening to stuff, I have to do something else in order to listen to something.
Hmm.
And I don't do that often, so.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So I'll just straight up say, honestly, that idea kind of gives me a little more initiative to listen to the album.
We can do the idea for an episode, see how it works.
Yeah. So it doesn't have to be like the sole focus of the episode, but just a part of it. And again, like just like I like eat like this is an album that John likes. I like music. I'm curious of what I think of something that John likes, type of thing. Like I think that'd be interesting. So yeah, I think it'd be fun. So all right, I'll try to get to it at some point.
Okay. Yes, I've been doing the makeup class.
Yes, you've been sending me random photos of you.
Of me, yes.
Yeah.
One with mutton chops for a beard.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And then one with old age makeup.
Oh, that's what it was. I'm not gonna lie. Now, again, I probably like quickly saw it. Okay, now looking at it, I still thought a similar thing. Like they were almost like cuts. I almost thought. But at the end of the day, like what I've kind of learned from even like at Sight and Sound, you're on a stage and the audience is way over there.
Yeah,
They're not up
it
close, and
definitely
so
looks
kind of
much
do it in a way.
different
Yeah,
in the audience, and it is like up close to the camera where you have those fine details in the lines.
yeah.
Cuts.
Because honestly, like sets, they look so different up close than they do from in the audience.
Oh, so you didn't get the idea that it was old age?
No, I didn't. I thought
Oh.
like someone maybe tried to stab you, but instead like did like a few like fine
Okay,
cuts.
so that's what you meant when you said gotta go to the hospital.
Oh, that's what I said?
Yes. Because when you said that, I thought you meant, oh, because only there was makeup on half of my face, I should go and get that checked out because I'm old in half of my face.
Oh my gosh.
Because then I replied, I'm sure it's nothing.
That makes sense. Yeah, no, yeah, I thought they were like, especially like your lips, or like you look, if not like you got cut, like you're a villain who did get cut.
I see.
And that's a very clean shaven villain though, but regardless.
Well, here's the thing, Christopher. We don't do cuts for another couple weeks.
Fun.
So you'll get my cut pictures.
Yeah, I think those I'd be able to really tell, like, oh, those are cuts.
Because I got fake blood in my kit.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm making to use
There's
it.
someone I follow on Instagram who like will like do like these fake blood like makeup things, like, oh my gosh, like there's a knife in my arm thing. Like it's insanely good. It's crazy. It looks like first glance obviously it looks real. Then you can kind of see, but it's just like wow. It's insane.
So, do you know our black cat that we had?
The main one, the original, dare I say what
the one that's been missing and it has another family in the neighborhood?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yes. Well, the Humane Society called the other week, and they had our cat there. She was brought in, so we picked her up, and she's been staying here. She's not allowed outside at the moment.
Was the cat getting in trouble, I guess?
I mean, she'll leave, wander, go to other people's houses, and like we hadn't seen her in like a month, so we're keeping her confined to this house.
Does she have a leash?
No.
Every bad cat needs a leash.
Well, we're not gonna leash her. She gets to sleep wherever she wants, as long as she doesn't leave.
Is she in my spot?
No. My cat wants me to do something. I don't know what. Come in and say hi to Christopher. This is the original I'm talking about right now. She's at my door. I guess she wants me to let her out. I'll do that later. What else would I say? Yeah, so the cat's here. An artist friend of mine who I know recently has gotten their comics published.
Congrats to him.
Yes. And so I got myself a copy. It was at Barnes and Noble's.
Oh wow!
Yeah, like published big time.
Nice.
And there is talk of a movie.
That's huge.
Mm-hmm.
Congrats to him, honestly.
Yeah. Hey, that's great. It's nice. I got their autograph, so.
So did you see did we talk about Hawkeye or not?
I don't. I think so. I said it was okay. Like,
Okay.
I wasn't sure about how they were going to handle his replacement.
Mm. Oh, and you didn't like the fact that she's a fangirl.
Yeah, like I said, it would have made much more sense if it was his daughter to be the replacement than some random girl.
That almost seemed like teased at the beginning of Endgame, him like teaching the daughter how to shoot. So I thought they would go with that.
And then, of course, like, she's not just a random girl. I'm one of the best archers in the world. She says that. She literally says that.
I don't remember that. Huh. Well, like, at the end of the day, is it going to be interesting? Yes.
It'll be
good?
like a fun Christmas thing.
I'm not even sure if I'm ready to say fun yet.
It's
honestly.
it's because it's like similar to Die Hard.
Okay. Well, the Christmas element I'm kind of excited about.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
because like
Die Hard is a Christmas movie. Is Iron Man 3 a Christmas movie?
Iron Man 3. I don't know. I thought that was an Easter movie.
No. You think they do Easter?
Well, no, because like there was a giant bunny in that movie.
That. Rich people things.
Yes, giant bunnies. That's the casual thing.
Yeah.
Casual.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, again, I'm gonna watch it when it releases. Am I excited about it? Honestly, no.
But yeah, looking forward. We got SonicCon, Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, man. They better release the official trailer around Eternals. That's my guess.
It's coming.
It is.
I mean, there's been rumors of leaks. Who knows? There's been so many rumors about things I don't even know if they're true anymore.
Yeah. I feel like I've seen some things where it just looks so fake. You know, like I saw one like script leak of the whole with responsibility thing, and like that's fake.
I mean,
like, nah.
here's the thing: the script leaks for the most part are just lines from the other movies, like the exact lines.
Right.
But yeah, honestly, I've had enough of my scripts. It's not like a Powerpuff Girl thing where it's so bad. It's like, oh my gosh, this is really the case.
I mean, there's no way Spider-Man can be that bad.
I don't know. They could try.
They could try with something else, not Spider-Man.
Sure. Yes. Oh yes, the lawsuit with Spider-Man.
Black Widow.
No, there was another one.
Oh, that one.
The right ownership.
Yes.
That's a thing.
What are your thoughts?
It's a valid argument. I mean, they did co-create the character. Legally, they should have rights to the character. Legally, they should have been given royalties of ownership.
Yeah.
To that extent, it's
they
fair.
Just want royalties.
If they get the character, let's hope that they allow the character to appear in other stuff again.
I'm really kind of just dare I say praying and hoping. Is well, okay. I did the whole like complete like essentially cease and desist by this time thing feels extreme. Why can't they work out a deal? Unless that was already attempted and that didn't go through, so they're going to this extreme. But like at the end of the day, I'm hoping that they know like, oh, these characters are making money, so we just want royalties. It's not a complete the end of the MCU type thing, because that to me makes no sense. Like
It's also just like having the legacy of your family as well, because like there have been moments where people have been completely stolen from their legacy, like Bill Finger, who was the co-creator of Batman. He got nothing. He died very poor, and he didn't. And he died in poor, like in the 80s or 70s. He did not get recognized until 2016 as the co-creator officially.
Wow.
And the thing was that DC, they knew the entire time, they just didn't want to mess with it.
Right. Which is sad.
Yeah, and so his family finally got their credit for him, which is it's great. Good for them. But yeah,
also 30 years too late.
Many years too late, for sure. Like for in the city, but yeah, at least they're able to recognize him now.
Yeah.
Then just never at all.
Yeah. So let's hope that at the end of the day, this will work out for both parties.
Yes.
I'm hoping it will.
Yes.
So.
Hopefully it shall. Is there anything else you want to talk about here?
Might have been one thing that I briefly thought of during that moment, but I can't remember. So it just really is. We'll see. Like I'm not like counting down the days, but I'm excited to see whatever the Disney Plus Day thing has in store.
Yeah. I'm excited because we're supposed to get a trailer for Boba Fett. So.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Those are fun for trailers and stuff.
I don't know what's like at the end of the day. Essentially, the Infinity Saga with Marvel is done. There's nothing like there's not a lot to look forward to in terms of oh my gosh, my favorite character. We're mostly over that now, I feel. Unless they have some surprises, which I doubt. So I like the most exciting thing in my mind is a release date for Fantastic Four. That's the most exciting thing we potentially will be getting, or at least of my current foreknowledge. They could pull some surprises out of the box.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll get one for this. It'll probably be announced during Christmas time for if we have D23 this year.
Okay, so regardless whether it's Disney Plus Day or D23 or Investors Day, by the end of the year, if we get a date for Fantastic Four, I'll be happy enough. You know, that's all I'm hoping for. So even if it's in 24, like just some date. I just want a date. That's all. Also, I'd be curious if they have a date for Captain America 4. But to a degree, I'm more excited about the Fantastic Four because at the end of the day, that's a popular franchise of Marvel that's not part of the MCU yet. And so obviously everyone's looking forward to it with caution, but optimistically caution. But anyways, yeah, I'm hoping we get a Doctor Strange trailer around the time of Spider-Man. That'd be fun. If not Thor. And then, honestly, the more I think about Eternals, the more unexcited I am about it. Like, I'm excited, yay, another Marvel thing. But I I'll be honest, I've chosen not to watch the little like trailer clips they're releasing. I just stuck with like the main trailers that they've released.
Is that next month?
Yes, it is.
Okay, whatever.
So I'm gonna watch it when it hits theaters, honestly, because yay, new Marvel. But honestly, I just don't. But there's also a part of me that keeps thinking like that was almost my thought with every single Marvel release as I was going through the MCU. Guardians of the Galaxy, that looks stupid. Nah, that was enjoyable. Ant-Man, why? Ah, that was fun. Shang-Chi, no, that's a top 10 movie in my mind, you know? So it could end up really surprising me, but I'm not optimistic, honestly. But probably that would be for the best, because that if it is that bad, then I've already cushioned myself. If it is that good, then it's gonna be fun to have that rush of excitement, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. I don't. And I think a friend mentioned like there isn't like a heavy plot given for it. Like we have a villain teased in the trailer, and I think the diehard fans know who the villain is or whatever. But it doesn't even feel like the core of the movie. And you're introducing like 12 new characters. That's overwhelming. Obviously, you're only going to focus on a few, and then you have a few big name actors, so everyone's going to recognize those people. But it's like, and then not to mention, it's actually going to be longer than Infinity War, so it's the second longest MCU movie. So for it being that long, it better be at least decent.
Sure. Yeah.
So
Decent.
I don't know, but
yeah, my cat really wants me to do something for her. So we
is
should.
that you saying bye?
Yeah, we should end this off right now.
All right. Well, I'll try to talk to you.
Hold on. Thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you all next time.
Oh.
Bye.
Bye.